Okay, guys, here we go. This Adobe Illustrator self-portrait cartoon lesson. So I'm going to come up. I went to Illustrator and I went to File, New, and my panel came open, and I'm going to call this self-portrait cartoon. I'm gonna make, I think the photo I have is 11 by 8. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go 8 by 11. You can use any size format you want. I mean, the canvas size, artboard size. You can do 12 by 12, 18 by 18, 8 by 11, 8 by 12. I'm going to go 8 by 11, and I'm going to hit create. And I'm going to go to Windows. I'm going to open my layers panel, and I'm going to also open my stroke panel, and I think I'm going to open my brushes as well. All right, with all that said and done, I'm going to start by bringing in a photo. I'm going to go File, Place, and I'm going to find the photo that I used. Gotta find it. Sorry. Yeah. This is it. I should have had this ready, right? There we go. And I'm just gonna place it here. You can see it's quite big. I'm gonna scale it down to the size of my canvas, or my artboard I should say, and I'm holding down my shift key. I'm grabbing that right corner and making it go down in size, and I think I'm gonna do it about like right there, pretty close. Okay, once I have it, I'm just gonna click. And when we did an earlier assignment, I had to change the transparency to that, right? So I came down here to my stroke and I lowered this down. I'm gonna lower it down a little bit. You can't go down to 50. I think I'm just gonna do about 80. So I can still see it. And then just click on it. Okay, now I'm going to start. I'm going to start by going up to this image and just this layer, and I'm double clicking on that. I'm going to rename this image to trace. And I'm going to start by adding a little palette. So I'm going to grab some rectangle tools. Oops. Rectangle tools, the tool, and make some squares. And in those squares, I'm going to choose some of the colors for my cartoon just by using my eyedropper tool and the photo that I brought in. So the way I'm going to do this is just going back from that move tool, selection tool, to my eyedropper tool. So I'm going to select this one, and I use my eyedropper to get the tone of my face right there in that one. Going back to the move tool and just repeating this. I'm going to get my hair in that one. I'm going to get, let's see, definitely get my eyes. Get that. And God, my hair color is way grayer than my eyes. My hair used to be the same color as my eyes. What happened? I'm gonna hit this one here. I'm gonna get a different shade of my skin color because it's dark in this area. I'm gonna go down to where my chin's at and get that. You can see it's a little bit different. I might also grab my neck. Let's see. How much different is that? It's pretty close to that one. I'm going to select this one and I'm going to do the eyedropper on my lips color. And I think this last one, I'll just do my shirt. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the face. I'm going to use the pen tool. And I'm just going to do a rough outline of my face. Coming down like that. And I'm just clicking and clicking. If I want to bend it around a little bit, I can and get that shape going like that. You don't have to do that. You could use that anchor point tool afterwards. I'm kind of going to use both. I'm going to get rid of this fill, so I click on the fill here, and I'm just going to choose none until I get this done. Clicking here. Whoops, what happened? Going back there, there. Not going to worry about the ear. And then I can just, after I get up here, I can just random go up like that and connect to that other one. And that's the face. Okay, on this same layer. Oh, I goofed up already. Unbelievable. I'm gonna go back. I needed to add, I'm sorry. I needed to add that new layer and name it face before I did that. Sorry, just like in class, huh? All right. Catch up with myself here. Okay, much better. And going back to my selection tool for a second, I'm gonna look at that and make sure I got a couple rough edges I'm probably gonna want to fix. So I'm gonna go back to, I'm gonna grab this anchor point tool, and I'm just grabbing this and pulling a little bit to the right. Same with this one, just grabbing that anchor, and once I get the handle, I'm just doing that. I'm going to do it down here in the bottom. Just rounding off some of these really rough angles that I see. I don't have to worry about these up here as much because they're kind of hidden. I'm going to grab this, just this one. Okay, going back to my move tool for a second, and I can look at that. I'm going to add a little stroke on that, and the way I do that is just click on that path. I'm going to come over here to my stroke layer, and I'm going to add 1 point. Yes, maybe 2 points on that. And just click that. There we go. Yeah, I like that. It's a little rough right there, but I think it's okay. And now I'm going back to my pen tool, and I'm going to do my neck. And I'm just going right inside that face, going here, here, there. And later on, I'll do my shirt. That'll be my last, I think, little layer. I'm going to add a layer for the hair, the face, the features of my face. My clothes, and then a background. Okay, that looks fine to me. I think it's fine. I'm going to add that stroke as well. I think oh, there it is, 2 points. Let's see how that looks. That looks fine. I'm going to do the 2 ears with my pen tool. I can start inside my face because I'm going to put this underneath. So I'm just going to go inside here, come up here, and out there. Boom. I'm just clicking. I'm not holding it down. I'm just clicking. If I want to get this curve like right there, I can hold it down and pull on it. And see how I curve that bottom of that ear? And then I'm just going to connect it. And that's selected. I'm going over to the other ear and I'm going inside. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to hold it down this time and pull on it and get that curve going. And the next one I don't have to. I don't have to. This one I'm going to go inside and I am going to pull and get that curve on the bottom of my ear somewhat. And then connect it. And if I look at that, I can see I don't like that little thing. So I'm going to use that same anchor point tool. And I'm just going to pull on this a little bit to smooth that out. See how it looks. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's enough for that layer. I'm going to go over and add a new layer. Double click on it and name it face. Or no, not face. God Lord, hair. Thank you. And just do the same thing with my pen tool. I can turn this face off right now and go grab my pen and just do, I think I'll start right there. And I'm up on the top. I'm going to do this. Yeah. And I'm going to connect that. Come back and bend that a little bit. Yep. Connect that. Bend this a little bit. You do the best you can with this. I'm not looking for perfection on this. You know, this takes a little time to get used to. So if it comes out a little rough, I'm not overly worried about it. You do the best you can. That's all we can do, right? Curving that one a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to curve that a little bit. All right, and then this one, I'm really going to come down here and try to get that curve in, and then come out here and get this curve. Boom. All right, I'm going to connect that back up, come out here, and then I'm coming down here. I'm going to bend this a little bit there. Boom. Going up there, right by that pen. Make sure I don't get that pen. And I'm going to connect it. Okay, good. All right, so I am going to grab my selection tool, take a look at it. It's got a stroke on it. I'm going to fill this in, the face and the hair, with color. I'm going to go back to the face and turn the hair off for a second, and I'm just going to use my selection tool, click on the path of that face, and it makes that whole selection. I'm going to go up and grab my eyedropper, and I'm just going to hit this palette right here, this first one I made, fill that face in. I believe I had this was kind of the lower part of my face. I could do that. I could put another like circle here and put that in as kind of a shadow. I think I'll hold off on that. I'm going to grab my selection tool. I'm going to grab the neck, and I think I chose this color as the neck. So I'm going to do that. It's a little bit different, yeah. And then the ears, maybe I'll use, no, I better use that same color. So I'm clicking on this one, eyedropper, that one. Eyedropper, that one. Okay. I am going to make sure this ear is underneath that, and same with the neck. The way I do that is I select it, so I have the selection around it. I right click in it, I go to arrange, and I say send to back. Send to back. Oh my God. I want this selection. Range, send to back. Okay, and then the same with this one. Arrange, send to back, and then the neck, clicking on that, clicking inside of it, right click, arrange, send to back. Okay, good. I want a stroke on this face though, and I didn't get that. So I'm gonna click on this again. I'm gonna go up to this and click on 2 points. Same thing with the ears. I want 2 points on all these things. I'm gonna have a stroke on all that. Kind of give it that cartoonish look, I think. And the neck as well. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, all right. Now, clicking on the hair layer, I'm gonna turn that back on. I'm going to make sure I have that selected. I'm going to use my eyedropper, and I think my hair was here. Ooh, what happened? I gotta have, do I not have that selected? I need the hair selected. There we go. Eyedropper, and this is my hair. There it is. And do I have a stroke on that? I don't. Let's put a stroke on that as well. Selecting it. Going down here, let's put a 2 point, well, let's just do a 1 point stroke on the hair. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so far so good. I got a lot done. I'm gonna add another layer. I make sure I have the hair layer highlighted, so the next one that I create goes right on top of that. If I had a different one, it would go on top of that. I'm gonna double click on this, and I'm gonna type in features. And I'm going to turn off these other layers so I can go on and get my features on here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to be using both the pen tool and the brush and the pencil as well. I'm going to grab the pen tool first, and I'm just going to go around and try to do these eyes. So I'm going to grab the eye pen tool, and I'm going to go right in there and click, coming up here, and I'm just going to click a little bit, holding it down, shifting it a little bit. I'm going to go right in here, curve that a little bit. I'm going to come right here, and then I'm going to connect it, something like that. Okay, I'm going to come over to this eye and do the same thing. And all I'm doing is left clicking and pulling on it a little bit to get that oval. And down here, and back to there, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to grab my selection tool. I am going to change the colors of these to white. So I'm double clicking on that and going up to the very left corner of that, clicking on that, and we have some whites in our eyes. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to click on it, select it, double click my fill, and grab the white. Okay. I'm going to use my pencil tool now, or paintbrush tool, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to grab the paintbrush and I'm going to check it out to see over here in my free area and see how thick it is. It's black. The paintbrush uses the stroke. The pencil uses the fill. So I can change that stroke. I have it on 1 point. I'm going to take it down to about 0.25 and see what that looks like. It looks good. I'm going to go around the eyes and get some of these lines that I have. Oh, you guys are so young, you probably don't have to do this, but I am going to do it for the sake of mine, to give it a little bit of authenticity. So, what a terrible thing to have to do, huh? I'm just going around those eyes. You can certainly do this just like right over the top of yours like that. Everybody has that eyelid. If it's your eyes open, then you do have that eyelid. I can do that again. And I'm just left clicking and holding that down. I'm going to do a couple more here. And something like that. And I'm going to get the lines on my face. You won't have to do all this part. It's less work for you. But I'm going to try to be authentic here. I'm going to come down here and get this bottom of my nose and just tracing over that. I'm going to get this and this and this, and I think I'm going to do my mouth as well. I'm just going to, no, I think what I'll do is I'll wait for the pencil tool. Let me show you the pencil tool. It's over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left column of your tools panel. And the thing about this that I like is that if I use that pencil tool, I can just make a circle and I could come over here and just fill it in, right? And it's filled. So I'm going to do that with these eyebrows. I'm just going to draw around the outside shape of it a little bit and connect it back up. And I'm going to come over here and double click on this and go to black and say okay. I'm going to do it over here as well. And fill this up with black again. Once I have black down here, see on the bottom I have none. That's for the stroke or the fill, either one. I can click one of these and then just hit this and it'll go in there. I can do the gradient. But also I'm using black a lot, so this one automatically picks up on the latest color I'm using. So I can hit this, just hit this and it'll fill in for the fill. So if I had this fill as like that, and I just hit it and then hit this one, it fills that in. All right, with my pencil tool, I'm going to get this dark part right here, this shade that I have. It's part of a shadow on the line. And I'm also going to do it for this part down here on my wrinkly neck. And I'm filling those in with black. So I'm going to fill, just clicking this. I'm going to do it with this one. I'm going to select this one here and hit the black key there. I also want to do it for this shadow here I see. So I'm going back to the pencil tool and I'm going like this and just grabbing all of this. and hit the black. I could do it over here on this left. I'm gonna not. I'm gonna wait on that. I also want to do the ellipse, but I don't want to do them in black. So I'm gonna put no 0 on that fill, and I'll use my pencil. I'm just gonna trace around the shape like so. And I'm gonna fill that with that color that I selected, right? I think I got it, didn't I? Where is it now? It's gone. Man. I'm gonna grab the selection. I'm gonna double click on this and see if I can find that color. It's kind of a reddish, you know, not red. It's kind of more like in there maybe. Let's see if that works. And hit OK. Yeah, that'll work. I don't know what happened to my red. Okay, so I'm going to grab my selection tool, and I am going to put a line through here. I'm going to use my pen tool, and I'm just clicking here on that intersect and coming across. And I can curve this a little bit. Yeah, just do that. And I'm gonna escape from there. And I am going to add a stroke a little bit bigger than that, maybe 1. And hit my selection tool, see what that looks like. Okay, everything looks really weird right now. I kind of look like a zombie, but it'll be different when I put the face part back on. I'm going to add some eyes. Oh, I know what I can do. I'm going to grab my paintbrush again and make sure it's nice and small. I'm going to come up to like 0.25, the smallest I can get. And I'll just put some quick little lashes on there. If you're a female, you'll probably have much bigger ones, but us guys have a little bit, and just to add a little authenticity to this. Yeah, and I'm basically just kind of touching there. All right, now I want to grab the ellipse tool, and I'm going to make some eyes for myself so I can see. And I'm just making a small circle like that. I'm going to fill it up with this color here, which is the color I chose for my eye. So let's do that. Let's grab my selection tool, make sure this is highlighted, and let's see if we can fill it with that brown. There we go. I'm going to move it onto that eye and see how it fits in there. Looks okay. It looks kind of goofy though. It's kind of small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I'm just going to drag that corner a little bit. And then maybe this corner a little bit. That's too big. Oh, now I messed it up. All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks all right. I'm going to hold down my Alt key and move that one over, copying that one. Oops, I was supposed to copy it. Copy it, please. There we go. Okay. I don't like the shape of that. I'm going to make that a little bit rounder, I think. Yeah. It's getting there. Looks kind of goofy though. All right, and I want to put a little bit of light in that eye. So again, with the ellipse tool, I'm making a ellipse, very small one. And I'm going to fill that one with white. And that'll be my little flicker of light in my eyes. I'm going to use my arrow keys to move those up a little bit. And yeah, that'll work. I'm going to copy that by holding down my Alt and dragging that over. And I'm going to use my arrow keys to bring that up to the right a little bit. And let's see how that looks with my face back on there. I'm clicking on my hair and my face. Yeah, it looks okay. How come this didn't come up with black? There we go. Am I missing anything else? No. Okay, it's looking, let's zoom out a little bit. It's looking okay. I don't know. Okay, so now I want to add a layer to do my shirt. With the top one highlighted, I'm going to come up, say new layer, double click on that, and type in clothes. And yeah, so I don't need to turn all these off. I'm just going to grab my pen tool. I'm going to make sure that clothes layer is highlighted though. And I'm going to click here. And I have a fill on it, so I'm going to get rid of that fill for a minute. Yeah. And I'm just going to click there. Just following the outline of that shirt. I can, no, I'll do that later. Just following the outline of the shirt, basically following those anchor points that I put in earlier when I was doing my neck to begin with, and then I'll stop right there and then come down here so I can know that that's right, and then come out here. Whoops, wait a minute, I goofed up on that. Yeah, I'm going to come right there, and I'm going to add a little curve. There we go. And then here, add a little curve, and go to the edge. Let's see. And then I'm just going to come down to that edge, come all the way over, and tie it back up. Okay. Hit my selection key to see that. And I'm going to fill that with color. So I want that highlighted. And I think I lost the color for the shirt too. Okay, well, all right, I'll just choose another one. I'm going to hit my fill, and I'll come up, and I think my shirt was sort of thin, like maybe somewhere in that area. Let's see. Yeah, it looks okay. I don't like that it's not fitting in with there, so I will grab my selection tool, my direct selection tool, and I'm just going to drag some of this over. I'm going to grab this path, click outside of it, sorry, and then pull some of it over. Ooh, I don't want to move that face. I'm going to go back and do this, because I moved that face over. I didn't want to do that. I'm going to lock this bottom layer for a minute. And I just go in that space right here, and I click on that, and that locks that original image, the photo image. I'm also going to lock that face too, because it's moving I'm accidentally moving my neck around, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back to my direct selection tool. I'm clicking outside of this for a minute, and I'm just grabbing that path and pulling this over a little bit. I just want to move a little bit. Come on. There we go. And the same right here. I'm just grabbing this, pulling that up on my neck a little bit, and then probably here too. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I'm good. Now I want to add some of those lines. If I look underneath there, my clothes, If I turn that off for a minute, I can see I have that collar. I'm going to add that, and I'm just going to use the brush tool. I'm going to make sure that it's filled with black. Hit OK, and then come out here to my closed layer, and for some reason I'm not getting my paintbrush, so maybe I'll just use the pen. Can I do that? Why not? There we go. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna come up there, filling that in. I don't want it. I want nothing there. I do want the stroke though to be big. So I'm gonna do a 2-point stroke on that. Yeah, and then I'm coming over here, and I'm coming down there. Maybe bend that a little bit. I'm gonna come right there, come down there, bend that a little bit, hitting my escape key to undo that, and then there, hitting my escape key. What did that look like? Let me see for a second. Okay, it came out here, so I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna start here, come out here, come down here, something like that. Adding that stroke, and hit my escape key. Come over here and bend that around a little bit. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna hit my escape key, turn that on. Where did that come from? Getting rid of that one. Okay, so let's see how that all looks. The clothes, I need a bigger stroke around those clothes. I'm gonna go over here, do 2 points on that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, getting somewhere. Okay, now after all that, I'm gonna change the background out. You can see part of the photo still. And I'm going to put a background around that. Oh wait, I'm going to do this pen real quick. Let me do this pen. Grab my pen tool. I'm just going to go to the edge of this. Yeah, out to here. Oh, I don't want this fill. Come on. I don't want that. I just want this to be like that. There you go. Thank you. And yeah, I'm going to do that pen as well. All right. And I'm going to fill that color as well with some kind of green. Yeah. And then I'll use my pen tool one more time. To get just a little bit of that. Well, maybe I'll just use the paintbrush tool. Let's see. Will that work? Yeah, I'll change this to black. And, oh, it's not black. Scrap that, going back to the pen tool. And I'm just gonna put a line there to there and make sure that's black. All right, and hit escape with the pen tool. And then I think there was another one right here to here. Maybe there, yeah. And hitting escape, and yeah, that looks good. All right, I don't like this shadow the way it's not hitting there. I'm gonna move that shadow over a little bit. Going back to my features layer, I'm gonna click on that shadow, and I'm just gonna use my arrow keys to the right to go over a little bit. That looks better. Okay, so let's add the background. I'm going to go to my rectangle tool and select that. I'm going to go to the very top corner of my photo on my canvas, and I'm just dragging. Whoa, come back. This around there. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. I'll move. I want to make sure I have this close layered, highlighted, right? And I'm going to add a layer, double click on that and say background. Okay, and then I'm going to do that. Let me make my image a little bit smaller for a minute. Okay, and grabbing my rectangle tool and just dragging around that until I come down to this bottom. And where it says intersect, then I know I'm good. I'm going to choose a different color for this fill. I click on this, and I think I'll choose that. And I need to drag that layer underneath those other ones, right? So I have the background. I want to go underneath the face layer. I'm going to left click and drag it down. And there we go. Oh, wait. Let me move that up a little bit. There we go. And then move this down. Okay, hold on. I'll just leave it like that, a little border on it. Let me put a whole border around this whole thing. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add one more layer. Oops, not there. Make sure you always have your top one highlighted before you add a new one, so it goes right to the top. And I'm just going to call this the border. The border. And I'm going to use the rectangle tool again, except I'm going to use just a stroke on it, right? So I'm using the rectangle tool, and what I'm going to do is drag this around like that. I'm going to get rid of the fill so it's empty like that, and just the stroke is what I want thick. So I'll increase it like 10 points and I'll get that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to this top corner again and drag down and get a nice thick border. I'll make it really thick. I'll make it like 40. What does that look like? Yeah. And then I can use my arrow keys to drag it up a little bit. And click out. And there we are. Something like that. It looks kind of strange. I think I want to add some highlights to that hair. So I'm going to do that. In the Julian Opie assignment, I had you make your own brush. You don't have to do that. You can. And the way I did that was if you go back to that assignment tutorial, I just used that ellipse tool and I made a very small thing like that. And then I put it into my brush panel. By going up in here, and I said new brush. And then I made sure I had it an art brush. I went new brush and I chose art brush. And then I created that in there. I'm not going to do it this time, but if you want to, you can. I'm just going to grab a regular brush, a small one. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's fine. I want to make sure it has rounded tips down here. And I'm going to choose a color. For me, I would want a really gray, right? So the brush uses the stroke. So I'm going to double click on the stroke and I'm going to get a gray and I'm going to test it out. I think it's fine. And I'm just going to add some highlights into this hair. right? I'm just left clicking and dragging over. It helps when you add sound effects. Yeah, it definitely has some grade on this area here. I'm going to fill that in. And maybe that. Yeah, I can even go right on there if I wanted to. And I'm going to call it good before I mess this up anymore. That'll be it. I can adjust any of these things, like those reflection in the eyes are kind of big. I can put some shadows in those ears if I wanted to. Real easy, you know, with that pencil tool like I showed you. I could just do something like that and come around and then fill that with black, right? And then I could do it over here too. And it could go on and on and on, but that's it for now. I hope that helps. Good luck with your final. I know you'll do fantastic.